Travis, 6 years as captain, what are you looking to deliver this year in leadership with this new group?
Oh, look, it's an exciting group to lead. Look, I couldn't be more honoured again to take the role as captain, and look, I'm just so proud to be involved in this footy club and to captain this club, and look to have Rocky coming in the group and Charlie coming in the group. I'm extremely excited to be a part of that leadership group and help those guys set the standards that we want to do something pretty special this year. So it's exciting.
Externally, there was a debate as to whether you should continue on. What was your thinking? Did you reflect when that debate started outside?
Oh, look, that always happens. I mean, it's my 6th year now, and those questions will probably come up. So for us, it's about what we do internally, and every year we review it and talk about where we're heading as a leadership group and captaincy and all that sort of stuff, and went through the same routine. And I'd come back wanting to still captain this club, and we've had those discussions, and couldn't be more excited and ready to go.
That role is defined. Are you clear on what your role is going to be on the field?
Yeah. No, I was extremely clear, and we've certainly done a lot of work over the pre-season to continue. Not only my role, but a lot of other players through our system, and I'm excited for that.
Still on a half forward, Trav, where you sort of started a bit last year?
Yeah, it'll be very similar to what I played last year. We'll continue to play. I think what the best thing is now we've added more depth with Rocky and Mox and these sort of guys. We'll continue to rotate that. I think certainly for our group and to be a strong contender, you need to have a lot of depth through the midfield and forward line and have probably double threats. So for us and my role, that'll continue to be the same through the midfield forward, and I'm sure Rocky and Robbie and Chatty and these sort of guys are exactly the same. So it's pretty exciting to have that many players being able to play that role.
Isn't it hard to adjust to what that role is all about?
No, I mean, probably starting to play a little bit more forward than I have before, but I don't think it's too hard. It's just a bit different a role, but I absolutely love it, and can continue to love it, and it's a pretty important role for the team, and we're certainly working with a lot of other guys to continue through that role.
Tom, it's new stuff for you. You surprised you in the leadership group immediately before even putting on the jumper and a go?
Yeah, a little bit. I think I came in with no expectations to be in this role or anything like that, but I've just been myself throughout the pre-season, been a little bit modified coming back from the shoulder, but as the way it's panned out, the boys voted for that, and with the discussions with Kenny and Trav, they sort of left it up to me, said if I wanted that pressure to come in or not pressure, I suppose, if I wanted to perform that role in the leadership group. And I said I'm here to win and perform any role that they want me to, and that was to go in the leadership group, and I think I've got something to provide.
Is that reassuring for you that you've made that impression on a group when, can I use the term baggage, seems to attract you from Brisbane? There's all those questions of what was happening up there, that you've won faith with the port players immediately?
Yeah, I think so. I've just come in and naturally be myself and train the way that I always have and perform within the four walls as the way I always have, and to get acknowledged for that, I suppose, is a little bit rewarding, but it's about winning games of footy now and building on the foundations that have been built by the players before me, and I'm really excited for the season and what lies ahead.
Travis, what's that look like from outside of Tom's perspective, I guess? What's the impact that he's had on you and the other leaders?
Oh, straight away. I mean, you can see why he captained the club. There's no doubt about that. And I knew Rocky as a person, and we were friends before he come here, and he was a great bloke. But I never really saw too much of the off-field stuff. And I mean, as soon as he come here, just seeing him in the club first every day, how demanding he's out in the track. He wants to win. He wants to compete. And he wants to get the group better. And I mean, for us, we are so lucky to have him. It's not only Rocky, but everyone who's come into the club there. They just want to make the club better, and what Rocky said, he's happy to play any role for the team and help out in any way, and that's why he's part of the leadership group. I mean, it was hard it was hard to keep him out of it. It was, from day one, you can see why he's a leader.
Travis, so what you've known and what you've now seen, was the perceptions of Tom wrong?
I never had that perception. I knew he was a quality person and a quality leader from spending a lot of time with him. But now I've seen even more about how good he is. I knew he was good, but now I've seen why he's been a quality player in the competition for a long time and why he's been a captain of the club.
How is it that he helps lead when he obviously seems a bit of a modified stuff, so it's not
Yep.
exactly in every drill with you. And what are the things that he's doing to sort of show he's an hand around?
Yeah, look, I think, and it's great. Our leadership group, we got 7 in there now. And we're all different personalities, and what Rocky brings into that is, his demanding presence on field. And I think what's going to help is certainly through the midfield. He sees a lot of the game really well, and for him to help, a lot of our younger guys through the midfield and certainly go forward and help direct. That's where he stands out most. And look, he's done a lot of training over the last 4 or 5 weeks since he's come back from the shoulder, and you can see straight away that he's out there directing, telling people where to go, and that's why he's a quality leader.
I suppose is that why Charlie's in there, but from the forward point of the ground?
Yeah, and I mean, to see Charlie grow in the last 3 years, it's been so pleasing. When he first came to the club, he just wanted to fit in and play a role, and now he's just continued to grow and grow. We knew he wanted to win and compete. I mean, everyone sees how competitive he's out on the ground and the presence that he brings. Well, he's continued to grow that every year, and now he's starting to demand from others, what he expects. And if you've got players in your side that want to win and want to compete at that level, then the rest of the group around him, are going to get to that level pretty quick. So to have these 2 guys in there, Charlie and Rocky, we're extremely lucky.
To say a bit about the club, Trav, given Charlie's problems on the Gold Coast were pretty well documented, to come in and now be a leader just a few seasons later, what does that say about the group?
Yeah, look, I've always said how extremely proud and I am of this culture and this club, and for anyone to come in and we've had a pretty good record for any player that's come in. They've had a good growth, whether it be in performance or leadership, but we continue to try and help each other and grow each other, and I think that's a credit to our culture and the people that we have around the club. It's also a credit to the people that have come in who want to either make a change or improve and get better, and hopefully we continue to do that with the players we've got in this year.
Tom, what's it been like adjusting to Port Adelaide?
Yeah, I've loved it. I suppose you notice changes amongst the group. The age demographics are a lot different from what I've come from up in Brisbane, but the hunger from this group I haven't been a part of for a number of years now, I don't think, and they really want success here, and the quality amongst them, and you walk around and you feel like there's so much depth and there's so much pressure on, and I think that's what makes training even better, and the spots up for grabs for round 1, and I don't think it's going to be hard to fit 30-35 players into 22, so the competition for spots is really good, and the hunger's there for the group to push on it and go even further this year. So for me, I've enjoyed it right from the start. The high performance team's been outstanding. The coaching staff are really clear that the players are so helpful. Travis as captain's an outstanding leader, outstanding person, and I felt welcome from the first day that I've walked through the footy club, and my family's a part of that as well. Shana and Jack have felt a part of Port Adelaide from day dot, which is really important.
So you being yourself, but do you feel a sense of pressure that you've got to prove something by making this change?
I don't think so. I think there's going to be pressure on us to perform every week, and we know that. Externally there's going to be those pressures, and there's plenty of talk about the players that we've brought in this season, so there's no doubt going to be pressure to perform, but it's AFL footy. You've got to perform week in, week out anyway, and it doesn't matter which club you're at or anything like that. The pressure's there, and I suppose there's different pressures at different clubs and so on, but I feel rejuvenated and refreshed, and feel like I have a new lease on life, and I think my footy will really blossom this year amongst his playing group.
You got a pretty clear idea of where that footy will be played. We spoke to you just before the start of pre-season, and you were sort of sure where you wanted to be. You have a better idea now?
Yeah, it'll be much the same as what it's been in the past, midfield forward. I think the good thing is we've got depth, so we can play a few tricks and manipulate, hopefully, the opposition the way we want to play. So, as Trav spoke about, there's a number of players that can go through the midfield, a number of players that can go forward, but predominantly I'll be a midfielder and spend time down forward as well. And that's a luxury that we have a little bit at the moment, and is the ability to be able to drift in and out, inside the contest, outside the contest, forward. So I'm really looking forward to what the season holds for us.
There's probably, I suppose, almost 10 names that are near first choice players that are saying, yeah, I'm midfield forward. How do you all fit come round one? Is
Yeah,
there
that's.
some
I suppose that's what I was
takeaways?
touching on a little bit, like trying to fit 30, 35 into 22 for round one. It's exciting, and we've got a pretty healthy list at the moment, which is good, and the pressure's on. So I think, as Trav spoke about, this group's and the players, the individuals in that, are happy to play any role for the team, and that's the most exciting thing. And as you said, you've got Wines, Ebert, Power Pepper, Robbie Gray, Wingard, Boak, myself, Motlop, Watts. Like, there's so many that we can throw through there, and I've forgotten a few, no doubt, and sorry to those boys that I haven't mentioned, but that's the exciting thing. I think there's so many players that can play different roles, and we can give oppositions different looks, and we can do that within games, within quarters, and I think that's the exciting thing. Like, our forward line's going to be very dangerous, and our midfield as well. So we've got to go out there and perform and get the job done. But we're pretty confident that we've got a really good list, and we've trained really hard through the pre-season, and I think everyone's excited for the JLT series coming up and the AFLX. But everyone's looking forward to round one.
Tom, you mentioned the hunger that maybe you hadn't seen last year and years gone by at Brisbane. I guess, how do your expectations differ now from this time last year?
Yeah, I think it's. I've come from an environment that's a developing one, and that in the past, and that's just where Brisbane are at. I think Port's at the different end of the scale. That they've been in finals footy and thereabouts. They've had the hurt of last year, and that no doubt still burns inside them. I've come in fresh and seen from an outsider's point of view. So I think the hunger for us is to string wins together and get to know throughout the pre-season, was to get to know our strengths and weaknesses as players and how we can complement each other and work together in that. And I think we're starting to get a clearer picture of that. And as I said, we're really looking forward to. We have a trial game on Saturday night, which hopefully all the Power fans come along and watch and get to see what we've been working on all pre-season. But we never know until you play an opposition, so we're looking forward to that.
What's your program from now? Is it shoulder where you play trial game?
Yeah, I'm pretty much full now. I'm about 5 months post-op, so I'm about the same timetable as Brad Ebert. We've done pretty much a whole pre-season together, and we're pretty much full contact now. Even though Trav can't tackle us yet, it's more so because we're a bit more elusive than he thinks.
You're tough, you know,
But yeah, we're pretty much full on now, so yeah, we'll play on Saturday night.
And how about you, Travis? You had that hand sort of hiccup before Christmas, mate. Are you all good at that?
Yeah, I'm fine. No, it was just a little hiccup, and I was back training within a week and a half doing stuff, so I haven't really missed anything, so it's all good to go.
Both of you guys are obviously ready for the trial game on Saturday, but AFLX, any sort of discussions about whether you guys will be involved in more, maybe younger squad there?
Yeah, we're not sure yet. That's still to be finalised. I guess that'll be sort of reviewed certainly after the intra club we have here, but then yeah, we'll sort of probably speak about that early next week.